stories today. You want to start?
Well, let's
with
start
Seattle,
in Chicago. Let's start in Chicago.
Chicago, Rick. It's a mess.
Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
Yep.
She has allowed rioters and protesters to continually get out of hand. But, wait a minute. Now we've headed down to the Miracle Mile where all the tourists come in, and we have trashed that area.
Yep.
And now she's mad. They had to raise bridges the other night to keep protesters from getting in. But, Rick, over 1,000 people had already ransacked what is known as the Miracle Mile in Chicago. And if anybody's ever been to Chicago, you've probably been there. You know the area.
Yep.
Right up and down the river.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we have this happening. She says now she's going to get everybody, right, that's been involved.
So she's going to come and get you. But good news, the district attorney there more than likely will drop charges. She's dropped charges this year on 25,000 cases of serious felony charges. Just didn't prosecute them. So we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
25,000 cases, including Jesse Smollett. You may remember that.
Yeah.
And one reason she was shocked, everybody was so upset when she dropped those charges because that's pretty common in Chicago.
That's what they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I looked at the list of the 25,000 they're listing here. It includes murderers, all kinds of shootings, sexual assaults, and, of course, you mentioned the hoax. So, wow.
So now Chicago, already facing serious financial trouble, realizes something that they wanted to act like wasn't real, and that is people will quit coming to your city if they don't feel safe. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think I would go to Chicago if my life depended on it, Rick. I'd just go tough. I'm done.
Bubba, I know that's a phrase we always use. If you go to Chicago, your life might depend on it.
Yes, you are correct.
Okay, so
you're rolling the dice either way.
Yeah. And by the way, that'll kill tourism if people think they may die.
Yeah.
Or be attacked or
Rick,
looted.
they're estimating so far $60 million in property damage, 13 police officers injured. And then on Monday night, Black Lives Matters holds a rally to support the people who have been arrested, wanting them released. And one of the speakers at the rally, in other words, they're supporting the looters, Rick.
I know, and this is that thing we keep talking about. You can stand on the side, which we all should as Americans, and say we believe that every black life matters, and if there's any issue with law enforcement and systemic racism in this country that needs to be addressed, let's all join together and let's address it. But Black Lives Matter, the organization, is showing you once again, pay attention, because you need to decide whether you're okay with being part of an organization that does things like this. Now, if you're for this, then you're being consistent. But if you're not, you can divide the two up, and frankly should. If you think them supporting looting and rioting and saying go ahead and destroy Chicago because these places have insurance anyway, and this is like us getting reparations.
Yeah, that was their big. That was one of the big speeches. They have insurance. What does it matter? And this is just a form of reparations by us taking $60 million worth of merchandise and damaging property on the Miracle Mile.
So we have Ariel Atkins from the Black Lives Matter organization, and now she's trying to say. I guess that's a she. It may be that name. I guess it could be male or female. I'm not sure if it's a male or female. I assume it's a female. Says that these people are just doing this to make sure they eat and to have clothing.
They all look pretty healthy.
Yeah,
I don't think they were starving.
Yeah, I also see a lot of the Antifa, for some reason, very thin, lily white people in there.
Well,
it's almost like this was a very organized effort that started on social media Sunday when they put out on Facebook that a 15-year-old had been shot by the police in Chicago, when really it was a 20-year-old with a long history of bad things with the cops. Was running from the cops after they were reported, got a report that a suspicious person with a gun was in this area. They approached him. He started running, and while he was running, he was shooting at the cops. And then, so of course, they shot back. That's what happened. But then on Facebook, it got put out that a 15-year-old had been shot, and everybody converged on downtown. Let's get them back. Yeah. And that's how it started. And that was false.
This is Speedy said this guy was firing at officers.
Yeah.
Well,
he's been.
Look, I saw the whole thing. They put the dad out there who's screaming and hollering, "How can this happen to my kid?" And at one point, I thought, man, somebody shot somebody's kid. Mm-hmm. And I thought, man, that's unfortunate. But then I realized, and it is unfortunate, but it was portrayed as if a teenager was just minding their own business, and the evil police came in and just gunned them down because they were black. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's not what happened. And these false narratives, they only hurt when real things happen, because people won't take the real stuff serious because they think all of it's propaganda. So you have to understand that, once again, the organization Black Lives Matter that funds the Democratic Party, that believes in Marxism, LGBTQ support, the breakdown of the patriarch system of family. They don't believe that there should be a husband and a wife, a mom and a daddy. They don't believe in that form of family. And they want to they believe in anarchy, and this is what they do. And here they are proving once again that they'll burn a city to the ground, and they really think that's fine.
Oh, yeah, justified, every step of it. And, Rick, they have insurance. But who do you think pays the insurance? How do you think that happens?
And prices that will now go up.
Right. Or stores will decide it ain't worth it and not come back. And then when all the stores leave an area, people will go, we don't have anything in our community. There's no jobs, there's no services.
You left our community. Nobody cares about our community.
You don't care about us. You're against us. No, you've run people out. What do you expect?
Yeah, I wish
I hate this. At some point, we have to act like adults, and we have to be real, okay? And quit acting like we're just being animals out there. I mean, we call it society because there's a civil approach to it. Look, our system here is far from perfect, but you do have a chance to change it. But it's a process. But if you're just going to go out and look, there ain't nothing righteous about what is going on in Chicago, and you're just bad people. You're just bad people doing bad things. That's all it is. And you're trying to justify it either through some message or some trumped up story or whatever, and you think you're being sharp, and you're just cutting your own nose off. That's what's so sad about it.
And boy, it was a missed opportunity too.
Yeah.
Because after the George Floyd death, we were all sitting here saying, man, we need to really have a conversation. And everybody was
people were going, how can this happen?
And everybody
can this happen?
And everybody was ready for that conversation. And now
and even
it's been
a broader look at what's going on with police, what's going on with our relations with our minority communities. Have we done enough? But all of it's been hijacked now by violence. You've lost people who wanted to get on your cause because they're not going to stand for violence. So you've lost them on the real reason that we should have some change.
Yeah. Businesses and jobs and opportunities do not come to communities where they're afraid they'll be burned to the ground, and the burning of their place to the ground will be celebrated, and you're being treated like you deserved it. That will hurt jobs and businesses coming into your community. And you know what else is going to hurt is things we have over in Seattle, and you're going to see it too.
It really deserves its own segment.
Yeah, right? Yeah. We'll come back and talk about Seattle.
But again, we have a state, we have a city that has been under the same political party's control for decades, and this is where you're at.
If I were the GOP, my whole campaign would now turn to all these cities, and I would show, to Bubba's point, the history of the Democratic Party being completely in charge and control of these cities, and I would show all these pictures, and I would say, this November, if this is what you want America to look for, then vote Democrat. That's what I would do.
You know, I feel so sorry for the citizens of Chicago who are good people and who are responsible and have been put in this situation. They're the ones that are going to have to stand up and say no more. We're not going to have this.
Or leave.
Well, you hope they could influence change.
No, I agree. But you would I'm picture me sitting in my house. I would be thinking, which one am I going to do? And I'm not saying leaving's right, but I understand it.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.